father, I have a lot of responsibilities that go beyond my job. I have to make time for my family, do things with my family, teach them the way to live, be an example for my children, be there for my wife. Now that's very, very nice sounding. But today the video is going to focus on seeing if I can complete my job in time. Not rush through my job. See if I can complete it, because I've already made provisions if I can't get there in time. And by there, I mean my 3 children are at Vacation Bible School. And for anyone who doesn't know what that is, in the summertime, churches will put on like a 3 or 4 day Bible school with fun activities for children, sort of like a little camp or something. So my 3 children are going there each evening from 6 o'clock to 8:30 at our church. They have a lot of fun, but tonight is the final day because it's Friday, and they're having their celebration, their games, and their performances where they perform for the parents what they've been practicing for the last few days. Of course, the heat wave is here, and I'm just jam-packed with stuff to do. And today, I have to go check out a unit I put in 4 years ago. It sounds like it's got a blown capacitor. I'm gonna check it out. I haven't done a whole lot of blown capacitors this year, but this might be it. After that, I'm going to go either change a TXV or install a piston, depending on how it works out. I'm gonna see how it's laid out. It's kind of hard to get into the unit the other day, plus it was like 100-something degrees up in the attic. So I have a TXV and a extra Goodman piston to see if I can use that. It's a Linux unit, but I do believe they use the Goodman pistons. After that, I'm going to change an evaporator coil. And that's about 30-40 miles from that previous call. And then I'm going to come back into Wilmington because I got to pick up a deposit for a job I'm doing next week. And see if I can pick up the equipment for the job too. We'll see. It ought to be something. It ought to be interesting. It's a race against time. Well, I know there's a unit here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. Guys, this is a high on mainline unit. I put it in a few years ago. See, it's a 2011. We're going to see if we have a busted capacitor. Could use a little cleaning up. Still looks pretty good though. So we're going to open up the panel here, see what she looks like. I can go ahead and tell you that capacitor looks swelled up. You can see little indentions at the top, so I have to go get another one. Contactor. We have a comfort alert here. It has alert here probably because it wouldn't start because of the capacitor. Or high pressure because the fan didn't turn on or something like that. That's our 2-speed fan board. It goes from low to high speed in the fan, depending on what temperature it is outside. And there's our defrost controller. So I'm going to switch out this capacitor. I don't feel the need to test it. And then I'll turn this sucker on. You guys, I have my capacitor in there. In case you're wondering, I have a turbo in there because I don't carry regular capacitors. So I'm going to make one of the turbos my loaner for I guess warranty purposes, as long as it will work out. And what I mean by that, I can run back by here pretty much any time because it's on my way into Wilmington, which is where I go most of the time. If this was one of the outlying areas, I'd have to do some rethinking, because getting warranty capacitors is sort of a pain in the ass because it's really not worth it, because capacitors don't cost that much, but these capacitors cost a lot. Since they're about $40–45, I want to keep those. So I'm going to designate one as a loaner, so whenever I get a replacement capacitor, just a regular 45.5, I can run it back by here on the way home and take my loaner back and use it on the next one if I want to. That way I can designate one to do that particular purpose. And until I think of something better, that's what I'm going to go with. So I'm going to put the power on, push the contactor in, and see if this bad boy will start. Alright, the power's back on. I have my contactor depression device here. Looking for the fan and compressor to start. Checking my wiring. I got my fan in the right spot. Got my jumper across here to the 25 microfarad to the 20 for 45. Got it on the 5 microfarad for the 5. Got my common in the middle. Alright. Compressor. Should be good to go. So, another happy customer. So, good deal. So he can turn his AC back on, and I can head on to my next call, which is changing out a TXV or installing a piston, depending on which one is easier. Well, here's our little cheapie. I think they're made in China. little popped up on the top. You can see a slight bow on top. But yep, she was bad. Can't even see the unit over there, hidden in the trees. We're heading on to the second call, and so far so good. Guys, I'm traveling down a road here, nice little country road called Stonehouse Road. Heading to my next call. Stonehouse Road is kind of a special road because it was sort of a, back in the day, a rite of passage, because it used to be all dirt. Let me see if I can get a little bit better view of it. Maybe not. It used to be all dirt, then they paved it, but before they paved it, people would drive their cars down here and go mudding through here, take their trucks. I remember one time that, we got stuck down here because we drove a damn car through here, and we had to sit there, and it was a girl that took 4 or 5 of us home from school, and we had to get out and actually pick up the car because she had a tiny car and slide it back onto the road. Oh, we got covered in mud and shit, but it was a lot of fun. That's what you get into out here in the country. We take our trucks down through the mud. There's a lot of dirt roads out here. After it rains, you go flying down through there. Your truck looks like it's covered in brown whenever you get out. But it just brings back memories coming down this road. It's been it's been more than 20 years. And now it's all paved and looking official. But there's still not a damn house on this road. It's just farm country and hunting land. So, onward to the next call. Going across the old Black River here, guys. I'm going to pump the system down here, and we're going to see the Armstrong Air here. It's made by Lennox. Get all the refrigerant out of the line so I can check that TXV upstairs, see which way we're going to go with this. Here's our heavily taped Armstrong air handler. I'm going to take it apart, get in there where the TXV's at, see if I can add just a regular piston to it. I'm hoping so, but if not, I have a TXV I'm bracing on the outside. We'll see. Okay guys, it looks like here's our bulb here. I'm going to disconnect this, disconnect it here from these fittings, and over here on the equalizing port, put a Schrader in there, connect and hopefully put a piston right down in here. We'll see how it fits in there.
The day is done, battle is over, and I bid farewell to another setting sun. I'm heading back from another long day to give to the small ones all that remains. And the lights go down, and the streets come alive with the laughter and love, the fuel for my life. I smile through pain with the help of $1, 'cause the world don't slow whenever you falter. So fight to keep every sister and brother, and in the end, all we have is each other. And the lights go down, and the streets come alive with the laughter and love, the fuel for my life. Don't try, you can't change one damn thing, 'cause you know you're not the guy. No matter how great you become, that don't change, no matter how hard you try.
We have our TXV taken loose here, and here we have, yep. So I'll put these two back together, fit them up, and we'll put a dryer on the outside of the door. And I'll put a Schrader over here. And the equalizing line, I'll put a cap on that. I have the Sporlan filter dryer in, 5-flow dryer right here before the piston. I'm going to, even though that I'm pretty sure I brazed this up properly and it'll hold pressure, I'm gonna leave my torches up here. Because I know the first time that I take them down, I will have missed a joint. So I don't know how it will happen, but it will definitely happen. So I'm gonna pressure test everything, make sure we're good to go, then we can start pulling a vacuum. About to do our pressure test and my Z manifold gauge. The little corner's too tight for the gauge itself. It's kind of tight. Couldn't put valve core removers on or anything, I guess. I just hooked up to the suction line. Got 300 psi. Let it go ahead and go out. Get up to around 150, let it sit there for a second, see if it starts to fall. Then we'll go check everything upstairs, make sure I don't hear anything whistling. Then I can clean up and put that air handler back together. Guys, I just started to vacuum here. We're going down at a pretty rapid pace, looks like. Just pulling a vacuum on a line set and coil. After we get done with this, I will open up the service valves and we'll start the unit back up. It's already set in cooling, it's already calling for cooling. So it'll be a pretty easy startup, and we'll try to get our superheat dialed in. Should be, I have to figure it up, but I'm sure we're in the 20-degree range probably. I have the Z-Connect out, 170, about 180 over 65. I'm putting some refrigerant in. I'm gonna put about a pound of refrigerant in here, see where we stand. Get that temperature to come down a little bit. 74.9 there. So let's see what we can do. Get our superheat down a little bit farther. Should be around 20 degrees today of superheat. Putting in about just over 2 pounds of refrigerant. Got around 30 degrees of superheat right now. Looking to bring it down a little bit. So it's definitely cooling upstairs for once. It's been a up and down road with this machine. 2 expansion valves upstairs, or the second one was an expansion valve. I put a piston in, but it would have been 2. 1 outside. A couple other repairs I think he mentioned. It's been a real rocky road with this machine, so hopefully we can iron that out. Temperature's starting to come down a little bit. Pressure's going up. I'll take it to 2.5 pounds, and hopefully that'll be it. On the way down to Boiling Springs Lakes now, on the new bridge here, Highway 11, in Bladen County, North Carolina. We're going to be to several counties today. There we are. Only got about 30 more miles to go before I'm there. We have our Goodman unit here now. I'm going to pump it down so I can change the evaporator on this one. Here's our new evaporator right inside in the closet. So I'm going to go ahead and pump this one down too. Same old, same old. Our suction pressure is 50.3. Discharge, our liquid pressure is 162. So we're a little bit low for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and pump this down. We're going to have to add some refrigerant when we're done. I'm going to pump it back in the condenser just like I did on the previous call. Our old evaporator coil, you can see some of the stains from the oil right there. There's some on there, it's kind of hard to see. There's our gauge down there at 152.6. Pressure test. So nitrogen, we were flowing nitrogen on that same port. Went ahead and plugged it and put the pressure test on too. I'm gonna go take a listen inside and make sure I don't hear anything. I have the vacuum rolling now, micron gauge just going down underneath 800. Let it roll for a while. I can get the core movers on this unit, so that's kind of nice. Grabbing power off the disconnect. So, looking good. There's the old coil over there. Looking like a leaker. So we'll get this thing evac down to below 1,000 microns. Then we'll turn it back on. I'll release the charge, turn it back on, and we'll check the charge. I'm sure it's low. We'll add a little bit of R22. We got about 162 over 46. Nice 80-degree day here at the condenser. 80-degree day. 87 degrees on the condenser. So we only have 7 degrees between outdoor temperature and the condensing temperature. So that's not quite right, but we know we're a little bit low, so that's okay. We're going to jack this sucker up. We should be closer to a condensing temperature of around, I don't know, probably, let's see what kind of machine we have here. CPLJ is 12 SEER. So maybe something like in the 103 to 105 condensing temperature range. So now we're at 87, so we're a long way off. But we know our 45-degree suction pressure is way too low for being 75 to 80 inside. So we'll get our temperature inside too with this device as soon as I'm done here. I'm putting some refrigerant in slowly but surely. Here is a gas. 74.7 is our line temperature. Our condensing temperature, or our saturation point, is 28. So that's almost 50 degrees of superheat. Our target's closer between 10 and 16. Target's 16 right now, but I know it's going to fall, so I'm going to shoot for between 10 and 16. And we have 169 over there, and that's going to keep going up. So there's all of our measurements, the old Subco there, or the new Subco. One day it'll be the old Subco, hopefully. We got 82 degrees outside. So not that hot today. It's in the shade, which is kind of nice. So tucked in behind the house here. But it's supposed to be a lot hotter this weekend. See, our 39% relative humidity is pretty low for us. Typically in the summertime we'll get up in the 90s and we'll have like a 50 or 60% relative humidity during the day. Then it'll go up to almost 100% at night. It's very uncomfortable. So we have 8 ounces in so far. I'll get it to about a pound and we'll see where we're at. We'll go from there. Our line temp is now 59 degrees on the suction line. We have put in 1.5 pounds. We are 71 PSI and 180. Probably the piston's a little bit large. It's probably the original piston for the air handler. And it's one of those AR, I think it was an AR32. So 68 piston probably should have been like a 63 or 64. So it's probably a little bit oversized anyway. It's why our head pressure is staying a little bit lower than the target, which was, you know, just over 100. And we have a 42 degree saturation, 57. So, you know, we're right in there at 13 degrees, or 14 degrees, well, no, 15 degrees, sorry. So it's right in there, so I'll probably leave it right there where it's at. And we are done with this bad boy. Now I'm gonna go pick up a deposit for a job we're doing next week. Well, I just had some lunch. I'm going to pick up my deposit for the job next Tuesday. We're setting a Ream RP14 3-ton split system. Hooray! But gotta get my deposit. I get deposits on my jobs like that. And then I'll be done for today. I had one more thing I was gonna do, but I moved it to Monday. It's sort of not a big deal. It's 3:46. Got to make it across town, pick up that deposit. Got to get to the bank, get home, so I can take the kids to Vacation Bible School. Their happiness hangs in the balance. Let's see what happens. Every day here, the traffic is like that on the other side of the road. I'm lucky I never have to go that direction, but every single time it's like that. This is Highway 7476 leaving Wilmington. I'm heading into Wilmington. And because of my work schedule is the opposite of people that work in town, I'm never the one that has to bear the brunt of that traffic. But my God, every single day it is backed up for miles. They have been working on a solution for that, I think, for the last 25 years.
But I'm off to Highway 421 North to catch the I-140 to the other side of town, so I can go pick up that deposit. There they still are. There's old Wilmington, baby. Downtown. Downtown. It looks like we got 458 here. 458, and we're on getting back off I-140 onto Interstate 40. I picked up my deposit. I have 1 hour to get the little children to Vacation Bible School, but I had to get my deposits in the bank because it's so hectic now. I don't know when I'll be able to get by there. I don't know if I'll be able to do it Monday morning or what, but I need to go ahead and get those deposits in so I can pick up that RAM equipment anyway. So I'm going to Burgaw to the bank, and then I'm going to race home to pick them up for their grand finale Vacation Bible School festivities. Let's see if I can make it.